So under the soggy skies of Edmonton, Alberta, this international friendly is underway. Uzbekistan wearing white with blue trim. They will defend the goal to the right side of your screen in this opening half, attack the goal towards the left, while Canada wearing their primary reds, defending left and attacking right in a 4-4-1-1. Uzbekistan. Alistair Johnston. Still have images in my brain of the Azteca standing about 7 yards behind the goal that Uzbekistan will defend in this first half. Watching Alistair Johnston rock his short sleeves under the snow against Mexico and Costa Rica. Referee Marco Ortiz, he wastes no time reaching for a yellow card. A crunching tackle and an unfair one committed by Studs up on the inside. Once again operates from the right wing. Buchanan turning, firing the first shot on target of the match. David takes on the turn. Miller from Eustaquio. Struggling for traction, Liam Miller goes low. Skips off the foot of Eustaquio and cleared, and now look out. Led by the skipper on the counter. Bombito makes the first tackle, then coughs it up. A comedy of errors for Canada. A lofted shot from Shamaradov. Should absolutely be 1-0 to the Central Asians. The turf monster bites Moise Bombito, and then Cornelius and he a little friendly fire. That is 44 goals for country. It will be Eustaquio to deliver right at the keeper, not risking an attempted catch in the wet. This could be another big decision for the referee. He's going to reach into his pocket and pull out a yellow. National friendly. I wonder if that might be reviewed. Raising the foot up at the end and catching Kone with the studs. That is now 2 Uzbek Canadian defensive third. Uzbekistan really hasn't spent any time in that area of the pitch, barring the one breakaway. David wraps around Zhukurov. Derek Cornelius is on the floor. We play on without a whistle. Odd-numbered rush for Uzbekistan. Crossing in, looking back post. Bombito goes to ground and sends it wide to safety. Abosbek Fezulayev. Step from Derek Cornelius. Canada putting the pressure on. Nematov out of his box. Alistair Johnston into a tackle with Shukurov. Ismail Kone with a somersault. Uzbekistan a little overeager. He plays with his captain in Istanbul with Bushakshahir. July of last year, so coming up on a year that he signed a 5-year contract in Turkey. Richie Larea surrounded by 3 white shirts. He was ultimately caught a little late. And Richie Larea, as he often does, is becoming a thorn in the side of the Uzbeks. Moments have yet to cost them. Buchanan crunched. Nasrullayev was late. They go quick. Eustaquio in the box, swatted down. Trying to catch the Central Asians off guard, and it nearly turned into... Any cross, any shot, Eustaquio slides. And this could be something for Uzbekistan. 3v1 as the captain gets his chance at redemption. Great stop from Crepeau. The Orlando City keeper diving left and getting just enough on the strike. At least it was on target this time. if you have paid any passes. Outswinging corner from the substitute. Stakio with the near post, gets underneath it. Headed back in, is that off? It's close. Down goes the captain, flag was raised at the end. Muradov certainly doesn't look any less innocent on the replay. Wants to see a lot of red and white in the stands. I'm not sure there are enough red rain ponchos in the city of Edmonton to adhere to the coach's dress code for this match. Laren, he shoots! Looked harmless enough, but it's still got Nemitov to dive. Just the one prep touch, and from about 24, Kyle Laren. Back in Canadian colors, he certainly had a dramatic moment. Losing his footing, pardon me, going down and sending Uzbekistan on a break. Krichalarea, cap 12. Kyle Laren, 3v2 for Canada. Miller joins, excellent sliding tackle from Hosanov. Now it's a 4v2, David's cross, Liam Miller runs back post. Flung himself at the ball. Might have been a yard for making contact. Nice little hurdle from the Canadian captain, Stakio, and then David knew where he wanted to put it. Segur can play as a fullback or defensive midfielder. Dual national with Croatia, where he plays for Hajduk Split. Good ball, lost for a moment. Buchanan, with a little more readiness, might have had a chance to... Liam Miller makes a great run for Kyle Laren, flicked up at the last moment. It took Abdullayev going to ground to break up. Surely 1-0 for Canada. Segur with a great start to the build with that dish out the left wing. Miller trying to connect with Kyle Laren, who made the right run. Stakio, another outswinger. Cornelius felt it off his thigh. Problem was he didn't see it. And then Miller with a crunching tackle. He will join the referee's notebook as the first Canadian shown a yellow card, and then a little extras. Where we just see Abdulkadir Hosanov and Liam Miller squaring off against each other in the Premier League. No love lost by the looks of it there. No, the World Cup is near with the amount of friendlies we're seeing. Just as the calendar flips over to May. Derek Cornelius, might he become the fourth player booked? Yes, says the referee. Free kick from the Uzbeks, good ball, honor save! Maxim Crepeau! Well, if you're trying to prove to your gaffer that the glove should be yours at the World Cup finals, saves like trick. Whether or not that goal would have stood irrelevant to the save that Maxim Crepeau just made. Left-hand larceny. Buchanan. Tajon Buchanan gets around the defender, lifts it high, swatted down and swallowed up by Nemitov, and that should be it for the half. With the rather large exception of Jonathan Osorio, not the most experienced in terms of caps coming onto the field for Canada. More seriously injured than we might think he is. And blue, they defend the goal to the left side of your screen and attack now Dane St. Clair's goal to the right. Canada in red, working from right to left. Juventus's Jonathan David. Jonathan Osorio into the box, looking for the runner, Taniela O'Shea. Sending a lot of red shirts into the 6-yard goal area. 6 reds, in fact. It's a dozen players directly in front of the keeper. Dropped into the 6, punched down. A control and a half clearance. So something on for Jonathan David here. His pass for Taniela O'Shea. Heavy first touch, racing after to collect and strike. 0 for 2 in the last 2 minutes, but he's getting his touches. Crowd at Commonwealth was ready to absolutely erupt. Priso, not often for club, and he hasn't played that much for country. Do we see him at left back? He's influential here. All O'Shea for Jonathan Osorio! Through the keeper and in! Canada through Captain Oso lead Uzbekistan in the 58th minute. Something for the supporters in Edmonton to roar for. Ola O'Shea takes the assist, playing setup man this time. Ralph Priso down on the left wing, influential from fullback. Absolutely one the keeper will want to have had back. Shot. Taniela O'Shea. Sigur runs forwards. Chouanier now, side of the box, in for O'Shea. At full extension, Abduahid Neymatov has the ball. So we're looking a little leggy, Canada with their subs starting to force the issue. Jonathan David weaves his way around, finds a way into the box. David tackles. Nelson was open, but not really in a position for David to feed him. Feeds Abdullayev. That's what brought him down. The foul committed by Taniela O'Shea. Osorio, Saliba shot into traffic blocked. Ashramatov got the last touch, clogging up the shooting lane. Shomuradov couldn't locate the streaking teammates, trying to split the gap between the center backs. David's offside. Joined up at the line as well by Akmal Mozgavoy. Nazrulayev's number, but it's Derek Cornelius who's coming off for Canada instead. Alfie Jones will take over for him. So that leaves Jonathan David as the only Canadian starter. No, he's making his way off too. So it's a fresh 11 entirely for Jesse Marsh. Promise David and Alfie Jones onto the field. So who haven't we seen for Canada? Well, there's only 4 players left on the bench. Chicago Fire's Joel Waterman, Ali Ahmed of Norwich, Sporting Kansas City's Zoran Bassong, and of course Owen Goodman, the 3rd string goalkeeper who's yet to appear for Canada. Mono right away getting himself involved. This could be on here for the Uzbek. Shot from about 23. Trying to test Dane St. Clair, but pushed wide. Fezulayev takes the shots. There should be something on for Canada here. 3v2. Jaden Nelson accelerating, keeps the ball in play, turns towards the penalty area. His cross falls and hits the chest of David. Wasn't expecting it, and it skitters harmlessly away. That has always been Jaden Nelson's biggest strength. Blazing quick. The Whitecap supporters were reaching for and sharpening their pitchforks when Priso wasn't initially named. This will be a sight for sore eyes for Canada's top professional men's side right now. Handed off as Jones rushes back. It's to Fougerolles who makes the tackle. They will play against the Dutch in New York. We'll play at ICANN Stadium. There's Promise David. I hear a chirp of a whistle. Ball's in the net, but I think the offside flag's up. Off went the pyro, and David was ready to... Would have been just his fourth for country. That looked awfully tight. Well taken finish from Promise David. Few blasts from the referee's whistle, and Ralph Priso is being separated by the assistant referee and the fourth official. To Fougerolles. So Sergeyev will now enter the field for Sefiev. Sherzad Asanov will also come on. In behind and going straight to work. First save for St. Clair. Just direct over the top. Alfie Jones to Fougerolles, nowhere to be found. To the Dates. Goals from Canadian great David Edgar and an own goal saw Canada win by 2-1. They're leading by a goal to nil and just about two. Ola O'Shea stopped by Nematov. Ola O'Shea saw the slightest opening. Right arm extended. In swinging corner as Canada looked for an insurance marker. Snow or hail, Alberta showed up tonight. Stoppage time now as Canada has a third consecutive corner. None of them have been all that effective. They took just 8 goals in all of 2025 over 14 matches. Can they get their second? Tanny Olmachet, Jaden Nelson, a little razzle-dazzle. As the center back. That same goal that Jonathan Osorio last scored in, that same game, pardon me, against Cuba at the Gold Cup. It's Jaden Nelson's last goal as well. And for a man who surely would have been heartbroken to be told, you're not in my 20. Short this time for Mathieu Choinière as Canada run out the clock. 2 second-half goals from Jonathan Osorio in the 58th and Jaden Nelson in stoppage time sees Canada defeat Uzbekistan at Commonwealth Stadium.